Hello everyone, this is Chris with Sticker Fab. If you're wondering why I'm not wearing my sunglasses in this bright light, is because I can't see the screen on this camera if I do. Anyways, we are here and push has come to shove. These are going to be our last few days with our two-door Bronco. If you saw any of our videos earlier or seen some of our social media, this was totaled by our insurance company because it did get enough water over the door seals that there was potentially some damage in the future there. One thing our customers have wanted us to produce for a long time is roll bar protection for the two-door. Until yesterday, I had never taken this top off of this vehicle, and I'm sad to say I wish I had done it earlier. We had bars on top of this, so it made it a little bit more complicated. This vehicle looks great with the top off, and if you're in that kind of weather that supports driving with the top off completely, I do advise trying it out. Now, I think the issue with removing the hardtop, like I said, I have fresh experience with this. It was my first time. When you move this big bulky object, it's easy to take it all out the backside, but if you're just a little bit misaligned, or the people that you were trying to take it off with can't stabilize it too much or enough, you might actually scratch the paint on either side of your vehicle, and I think this is the main impact area. So we went from the bottom of this trim straight across. We go around that little bolt and we come all the way to the bottom, leaving a little seam there. You can install this a little bit different on this side. I went down a little bit more. In general, where you start dictates where you finish. So I do recommend getting our Sticker Fab application fluid. That will let you kind of slide this around and ultimately decide where do you want it to be and to even out the installation on both sides with ease. I also recommend getting a squeegee, especially if you decide to go with clear PPF. The reason for that is that it doesn't have as many air egress channels, and you kind of want to have that nice squeegee to push it and get it all down, get all the water out, leaving you no air bubbles. That'll make your installation a lot easier. However, if you go with our 3D carbon, this material is pretty forgiving. It's pretty scratch resistant. It's thicker than the normal vinyls and has a brilliant deep dark black finish that kind of goes with some of the other trims on the vehicle pretty well. So it'll give you protection and it'll give you some contrast depending on what your vehicle looks like. Let me get into this installation. It is fairly easy, so you shouldn't really have any problems, but I kind of want to show you guys how I did it to give you a better idea and make this process of installation a lot easier for you. Alright, for this install, I did go ahead and get a felt tip squeegee, which is in our store, our Sticker Fab application fluid, of course, on our store, and I have some Chemical Guys speed wipe. Now this speed wipe quick detailer will clean this area because we don't want anything in between the vinyl and the roll bar, especially if you have the clear paint protection. You will see any artifacts, dust, etc., dirt in between those two layers. This does not leave a wax because we want the adhesive to stick the vinyl really well. Wax usually prevents stuff from sticking on the paint. So we have our template. It will be labeled driver and passenger. This one is not because it's one of our prototype ones, but you can tell which side goes where because this little rounded area kind of matches this area where this hole is in the roll bar. So I'm going to use this application fluid and we will spray down that area. I would say that I like to install this vinyl between 70 and 80 degrees because the vinyl conforms to surfaces really well in that temperature range. If you're worried about the wind, I suggest taking the vinyl off a little bit at a time and spraying it as you go, because if you do it right, it won't stick on itself. So that Sticker Fab application fluid allows you to kind of align your vinyl where you want it. You don't have to commit to a spot until you're satisfied. I'm going to make it go a little bit towards the bottom here. I'm not going to leave too much of a gap down there. When I have it where I like it, first I'm going to use my fingers to kind of get some of this water out. I'm not starting just in one place. I'm starting kind of in the middle and going out because this area is curved. And notice we are doing this on the shady side because it is 86 degrees. That sun will stretch out the vinyl really quickly and dry out this fluid really quickly. If I was to install the other side or reinstall the other side, I would turn this vehicle around and make sure the sun is not pointing directly in this area. Now, if you were doing this in a colder environment, you will want as much heat on this as possible. If it's a little bit cooler, the sun can help you a lot, or a hair dryer. Whatever you do, you just want to be the one that gets to control how much heat gets applied to this vinyl. If the sun stretches it out too much, it'll look weird. The lines won't be straight. You can see how the squeegee can come in handy. Even though this has air egress channels, I'm still pushing a little bit of liquid out. Squeegees are really good at putting a lot of pressure in an area. You can see how I'm moving from the middle to the outside. And all that liquid's coming out. Kind of rolling it over the edge. If you didn't pick up a squeegee, you'd do the same, but with your fingers, just roll it over the edge until all that liquid gets out and it sticks. The 3D vinyl, not only is it heat activated, it is also pressure activated. So put a lot of force down into it and that'll help it stick. The first time I installed this, I did it without the application fluid. Going back and doing it with the application fluid and the squeegee, I think the alignment is exactly the way I want it. So when you're taking off that hardtop, if you accidentally hit the bottom going in or coming back out, you shouldn't scratch your roll bars. If you already have damage, this material is great for covering it up. But there you have it. There's our install of the roll bar protection for the two-door. Thank you guys for all your support, especially during these times with the hurricane and everything. We're going through a few changes, but please like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have not already, and hit that bell notification icon for the latest and greatest things we're coming out with for the 2021 and up Ford Bronco.